Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. And today we're going to talk about Love Island USA, Season 7, Episode 21, the Nicolandria episode. And then we're also going to talk about The Valley and Real Housewives of Miami later. So if you're fans of those shows, stick around to the end because we're combining our Love Island and our Bravo Day today because there's just so much going on. We had to get to it immediately. So before we get into it, how was your day? Anything exciting going on in your life?
Nope.
No, I know, right? I feel like we're all in like a Love Island hole right now, and that's like everything that our life revolves around. We had last day of school over here, so
Oh,
that's
nice. I was just about to ask you, even though I already know.
I know, right?
Graduation. You had a big graduation.
Yeah, kindergarten graduation, last one in kindergarten. So it's a little sad, but also exciting. So now the summer madness begins, and yeah, trying to do the podcast. We've been doing it at night this whole Love Island season anyway because we always want to record right after because it's just so exciting. So not that different.
Fresh. When the thoughts are fresh.
So speaking of the fresh thoughts. So many thoughts about this episode. What's should we start at the top of the episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So what did you last episode we said there's no way they're doing this whole Nicolandria thing for like a romance between them. We did not consider that at all. So were you surprised to see that they put them on a little date?
Okay, so in the beginning of the episode, when I seen them put them on a date, when first of all the announcer saying like Nicolandria is going on a date and Jeremiah's the waiter, I was like, and then they're like, oh, we're just kidding about that last part. That wasn't nice, but I think proof that they're listening to us for sure. I thought that the date was like not really a date. Like I just thought like you could tell that Olandria just thought it was like pure friendship and like pure like, oh my God, like what's happening here? And Nick, it just seemed a little forced. Like that scene for me was a little cringy to watch because I was like, they're forcing them on a date like automatically. It felt forced, that scene. Yeah. But then when we got to the end, I felt completely different. But that scene,
I know, right?
What did you think of the opening scene?
I mean, I did like when they first started talking and they started spilling the tea about what's happening back at Casa and at the villa. I liked that aspect of it. I was like, oh, this is good. Like, I thought that was all the meetup was about. And I liked that aspect of, although Olandria telling Nick about this tall man that Shelley's with now kind of ruined the moment for us when we get to see Ace seeing this tall man. Like now he's already been prepared, so I didn't like that spoiler aspect of it. But it was funny to hear, like they had to hear what's going on with their partners or their couple back at their spot. So I liked that part of it. And then I was shocked when they started to make it flirty. Like, I don't want to believe that it's completely fake. Like, because we did feel like they had a connection. They were always kissing in the challenges. Like, we did see something there. So it might be like a combination, right? Like, they did have a flirtation and a thing for each other, but they were not going to go there because they don't want to make people mad. And maybe the producers are just like helping them along versus like totally staged, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like, first of all, I feel like the boys in the villa are at they're at an advantage that they know what's going on in Casa and that the girls don't have. So I do feel like it's forced. Like production forced them together because they're clearly seeing what we are saying on social media, and I think they realize like they have to do something to get the audience back. Now, do I think that Nick genuinely has had a crush on Olandria? Yes, because I think we've heard him say it in his confessionals so many times. Like, she's so gorgeous. She's so beautiful. I'm not sure why he never pulled her for a chat on his own. Maybe he thought she wasn't interested, but then she picked him to kiss when she had to pick between two people who she wanted to partner up with. So I feel like
Yeah.
that was a good enough indicator that like you should explore. You should at least pull her for chats. And I feel like he didn't ever pull her for chats. And I love this Nicolandria concept, but I fear it's too late. I fear
Yeah.
it's too late because of her friendship with Sierra and his friendship with Taylor. Although Taylor doesn't give a motherfucking fuck. Okay, he doesn't give a damn. Excuse my language.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like they see us saying we don't have anyone to root for. There's no couple that we love that we want to make it, because obviously Taylor and Alandria are not working out, and like, Huda and Jeremiah didn't work out. So it sort of feels like they see we love Nick, or we did love Nick, and we love Alandria, and they're like, let's just put them together. So yeah, that part of it feels fake. But yeah, seeing Taylor with Clark, it's like a whole different person that we've never seen before in this villa. So
Not,
what did you think of
not
them?
Taylor fucking bypassing Alandria and jumping on Nick. He didn't even care that
I feel
Alandria
like,
was there. Like he knocked her in the head and like jumped on Nick. Like I think that's his true love.
yeah. So when at the start of the episode, when they were talking about Nick being gone, like it was like they were talking about their like romantic love partners being gone. Like that was the most emotional conversation that we've seen from these men the entire time. And I was shocked that they were like so upset. Like obviously they love him, he's a friend, but they were really like he said, it was like he had died. They were very emotional about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe the way Taylor just bypassed Olandria and like jumped on Nick. Like she's been gone for a few days and you don't want to check on her, ask about her experience. You just seen him laying in the
Mhm.
bed with another girl. Like your thought was to jump on Nick.
Yeah.
Like and then you guys are like in the bedroom and he's like swinging swinging like swinging him around in a circle. I'm like this is a lot,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna get to Taylor and Clark, but for me, I feel like they should have maybe given Olandria and Nick like uninterrupted time. Number one, it would
Yeah.
have been better to put them in soul ties, I think. It would have been more of a shock value, them coming out at breakfast and being like, as
Yeah.
opposed to like, well, good morning,
In the
Islanders.
bed.
But I do
Yeah.
feel like they should have maybe given them that last day just together. Say, hey, why don't you guys explore this? I seen some girl's TikTok video where she said they did it before on Love Island, Australia. Like they had something called like Villa Amor or whatever, and it was like a hotel that they put a couple in and let them explore each other by themselves. I don't know. I've never watched
Oh,
Love Island, Australia.
no,
Apparently
me
that's a
either.
thing. But I do think that letting them explore each other, just the two of them, no interruptions, no Taylor, no Sierra, to see if there's something there would have been a good way to do it, because I feel like now that we're back in the villa, it affects Taylor's relationship with Clark, even though it doesn't seem like it is, but it also like Alandria is distracted. I don't even think she
Mm.
can focus on if she likes Nick because she's like worried about Taylor. And it seems like a lot of her and Nick's conversations are about Taylor and his connection with Clark, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
when Taylor and Alandria finally talked, like he didn't seem like he was not even looking at her. He wasn't trying to reassure her in any way. Like he was joking, like, "Oh, I'll ping pong back and forth between you guys." Like I felt like in that conversation, he really wanted to tell her. He just wanted to explore Clark, but he didn't want to like hurt her. And I was surprised that she was so like willing to. She was kind of like, "Oh, I'll just have to like share you with her," basically. And I don't know. I feel like she should know at this point. Like if they don't have anything by this point, it's not going to happen. So. I don't know why she keeps holding on to
I
him.
think she thinks they have something, Ashley. I think in that conversation that he had with her, I mean, it's only fair, right? Like she got to explore with Jalen, and we
Hmm.
haven't seen Taylor explore it with anyone. So I don't think
Hmm.
there's anything wrong with him exploring Clark. I just think that Olandria is really into Taylor, and she has rose-colored glasses on right now. So she
Yeah.
cannot see what we're all seeing. She can't see the body language. She can't see that he's not looking her in his eye. I think that maybe at movie night, maybe if they show at movie night his interactions with Clark, it might click to her a little bit
Yeah.
more like, dang, like they're kissing on day one. He's complimenting her. He's looking at her. He's facing her when
Hmm.
they're interacting with each other. And I think maybe that's what Alandria needs to see to realize, like, oh, we don't have that, or he doesn't interact that way with me. But I think she's so into him, and she wants this rodeo love story cowboy
Yeah.
Carter. Like, I don't know, like she wants that so bad that she can't see that Taylor is not into her. I think she
Yeah.
thinks he's into her. And then when I just look at how Nick looks at Alandria and Taylor looks at Alandria, like Nick is infatuated with her. He is
Hmm.
enamored by her. He just be like,
Yeah.
and I love that for her, but I just don't see this being a thing, especially with Sierra coming back.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you think they have a chance of sticking together? No.
No, I don't, because I think Sierra, first of all, when she finds out that they kissed outside a challenge,
Yeah.
she's
That's
going to
not
be
going to be
very
good.
hurt. It's
Hmm.
especially because she's not kissing. She didn't kiss Elin outside of a challenge. I
Uh-huh.
think she's really into Nick. They got intimate. Like, I think it's just like, I love that the producers are trying to save the show, because even though I was like, this isn't going to work, actually, I was watching it like,
Yeah.
I was
That's
so get their kiss. I was like, oh my
yeah.
god, oh, I shouldn't watch this.
I
You know?
totally agree. I think that's the thing is like even if it is produced a little bit, like I do think there is obviously sparks between them and chemistry, and I think they know that we've been wanting to see this. So even if it's just temporary and then they're gonna go back to whatever, like he's gonna go back to Sierra, I think the producers know we wouldn't be satisfied unless we saw them at least try. And
Right.
so they're giving that to us, even though it might not work out, but it is exciting to watch.
Do
Like
you
they
think
definitely have
Landry is
something.
into it? You think she's into it?
I don't know. I saw some comments say like she's just trying to make Taylor jealous so that he'll like come back to her, which I don't know. Like I don't know if he saw what they were doing. I don't think he could see, right? But I don't know. I don't see her as being the kind of person that would kiss someone just to make them jealous. Like I do think she has something, but I don't know. Like why would, like you said, why wouldn't they have explored this earlier? But maybe just because they're so close with Sierra and he's
Yes,
close
I
with
think
Taylor.
the
Hmm.
friendships are ruining. Like, you know what I mean? The friendships are ruining it. I think that's why we didn't ever see any of the girls pull Jeremiah, because they
Yeah.
knew Huda was super into him. Nobody has pulled each other's man, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do think it was Sierra, and I think it was Nick's. I think Nick probably didn't realize that he's not that into Alandria until he's seen him with
Hmm.
Clark, because I think Nick, for him to have such a close friendship with Taylor, I mean, he did tell him, though. We do see him tell him, like, we're coupled up because we wanted to come back into the villa, but I am interested
Yeah.
in getting to know her. And Taylor essentially had no reaction, you know?
No, he was like whatever about it, which is, yeah, should be another clue to Olandria that he's not that into her. But I do think, just like with Casa, how they're making people couple up, I do think they're trying to take some of that pressure off because they're worrying so much about being the villain and being people being mad at them. Like in the villa, if Nick and Olandria had just started doing this on the side, like exploring each other, people would have been upset. And so they kind of are like taking that pressure off of them, like, oh, you have to couple up to get back in. And but that makes it feel forced. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, I wish they wouldn't think so much about what we're thinking, because I mean the audience, we change our mind every day, so
Literally. I
they
forgot
can't
I
let
hated
us.
Nick. I forgot I hated Nick.
Right.
I hated Nick's guy. I wanted him gone 2 episodes ago, and then this episode I had a crush.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's almost like we were all mad at Nick and we were like, fuck that guy. And now they're like, oh, okay, let's see what happens, how you feel if we're going to send him home. And they're like totally messing with us. And they need to
Yeah.
just get off the internet, the producers, because it'll naturally unfold. And yeah, people are going to be mad. They're never going to be happy with every choice. But even the outrage is what gets people talking about the show. So even though everyone's so mad, I mean, I'm sure it still got the crazy numbers. I think it was like 1 billion minutes streamed in a week. So it's not so bad that people are upset or have opinions, you know? So they shouldn't
Mm,
try to make us happy because they'll never succeed at making everybody happy.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
mhm.
I do think that for putting them together like you said, like the viewer needed to at least like see it. But I think seeing it and seeing the chemistry between them is just going like, because I don't think that anybody would have been mad early on if Nick was pulling Olandria for chats.
Yeah.
That's what the show is about.
Mhm.
Now we're halfway through this thing,
Yeah.
and now it's like he's already
Kinda
been
late.
intimate with Sierra, and they have such a sisterhood that I unfortunately think that once Olandria does see how Sierra feels about it, she's not going to be open to exploring anymore with Nick.
Imagine if Sierra brings Elan back, though. That might.
Everyone's coming back.
Oh, right. They're all
Everyone's
coming back.
back. So there's another element to it that's like,
Mhm.
where the hell is
Well, I
everyone going
mean,
to sleep?
where's the excitement for Casa then? If they're all, that was the best part of the whole damn show. Was like, did they bring them back or not? They're taking that away from us.
They're taking that.
Oh
I'm
no!
assuming she said everyone's coming back, but that's why I said like Casa. The point
That's
of Casa,
silly.
and correct me if I'm wrong, but Casa's usually 4 days, or
Is it over already?
it's over.
Did they say that?
It's
I missed
it's
that
over.
part.
It's over. It on the preview for tomorrow. It says you
Oh,
guys are
I didn't see
returning
the
to the
preview.
villa. You're returning to the villa, so it's over.
Oh. Okay, that's not great because that's definitely one of the most epic parts of every season is did they bring someone back and like that reaction. Like that's always like my favorite part because it's like the one part that keeps us on the edge of our seats. And that's another thing where I feel like they took that away from them in terms of the audience being mad, right? Because I feel like a lot of them do want to bring someone back, but they know they're going to get so much hate. So now they're like taking that part away. So it's not their fault, but the whole point of the show is them making these choices, good or bad, and us reacting to them. So they can't take off every part that might cause people to be mad, you know? There's no excitement then.
Do you think so? Yeah, and the thing is, they've shaken up things so much. I don't really know what's going to happen. Like, obviously, everyone's coming back, but then there is going to come a point where Taylor has to pick between Clark and Olandria. Who do you think he's going to pick?
I think he should pick Clark for sure. Like I don't see him, like he said, he was in the first 24 hours, he was like so much closer with Clark than he was with Olandria. I get the whole slow burn of it all, but I just don't know. Like he just seems so natural with Clark and so easy, even though his kisses are still kind of odd. Like I thought it was him and
It's a him
Olandria,
thing. It's a
but
him thing.
yeah. Yeah, like I get a good peck is nice in some situations, but this is a Love Island. You got to go full tongue on this, and I don't know what he's doing. Like,
It was less weird than his and Alandria's
yeah,
though, because I do feel like that first one that him and Clark had in the speakeasy, like he tried to like peck his way through it, and she kind of like gave him some tongue. But the one on the dock was very pecky.
yeah,
It was very pecky. But I think again, because this cast is hyper aware that they're on TV and America's watching and they're thinking so much of like how we're going to view it. I wouldn't be surprised if Ace is in Taylor's ear telling him, you have to pick Olandria. That's what the
yeah,
audience wants. She's an OG. You guys have coupled up from the beginning. She explored with Jalen. Now you explored with Clark. And that's what this is all about. Like you guys exploring and coming back together in the end. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if like Taylor overthinks and thinks that, oh, America wants me to pick Olandria. Whole time, America actually wants you to pick Clark because we can see that you don't like Olandria, you know?
yeah. I think ultimately from the show, we want to see genuine love and connections, and like from last season, we've got that these people are still together. It seems very genuine. So I just can't imagine Taylor and Olandria like riding off into the sunset and still being together in a year from now. But I mean, like we said, he's a weird kisser. Like they are both slow burn type people. So maybe they're feeling more than what we're seeing, but it's not looking like it looks like they're related or something. Like they're not like they don't have
Yeah.
that passion, you know? They don't
There's
have
no
that
passion.
spark.
There's
No.
no passion, there's no spark, there's no chemistry. And my whole thing is if you're a slow burn, then you're a slow burn until you're with somebody you like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because why aren't
Slow
you a slow
burners.
burn with Clark? You
Yeah.
kissed her on what day? Within 24 hours, you kissed her. Why
Mhm.
with Clark? You're naturally complimenting her. You're naturally turning towards her, gazing at her. Body language says a lot. Like you're turned
Mhm.
away from Melandria. You don't look her in her eyes. You've never complimented her. Nick complimented her 5 times in this episode. We've never
Yeah.
heard Taylor compliment her. So I'm like, she didn't slow burn with Nick. She
Mhm.
kissed him outside a challenge. But again, there's a friendship there and a comfortability there, right?
Yeah.
But like Zach tried to kiss her outside a challenge. You know what I mean? Jalen tried to kiss her outside a challenge, but and she
Mhm.
kissed Nick. And I thought the first scene was cringy, but that last kiss, I felt it. I seen it. The way she was biting that lip, the way he was grabbing that ass.
Yeah.
I said, okay, no, there's something here. She was giddy. She was like smiley. She was
Mhm.
giddy. Like I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I think she's into it. Like I think she's intrigued. Look, if my man don't look at me like this
Yeah.
after he kissed me, I don't want it. I don't
No.
want it. If he don't gaze at me like this, I
Yeah.
don't want it. Okay.
I don't think they could fake that, right? And that's why I do think there's real elements to this, even if like the how they're getting there is produced. Like that is the show is produced. That's the whole point of
Mhm,
the show. They are
mhm.
gonna, pull some strings if they're seeing something real that they can kind of push along. So they have a real thing, and I'm glad that we're getting to see it play out at least. But
But
I don't know. You know
I
what I
think it's
do
healing.
love?
What?
I love Chris and Shelly, and I hope she never talks to Ace again. But
Okay. So, okay.
I
So
think they're good.
explain to me what you're seeing there, because I maybe I missed it.
I feel like he's way more into her. Like, Ace is always trying to play that game like he's the prize and she has to chase him. And I just feel like he's way more like, his little flower thing. And I know Ace did the pancakes and all that stuff too. But I don't know. There's something about his, maybe it's just the way Ace has like been carrying himself, like, his like lip licking and yeah. Chris just seems more like, he's not playing the game, he's just being whatever, like he's
Yeah.
just it seems more natural to me, but it's only been like one episode. We've had a lot of Ace to see him in different situations, and we haven't loved a lot that he's doing, so it might be biased, but
Yeah.
I just, yeah. But you
I don't
don't
know.
like Chris?
I do. I do. I feel like we haven't seen enough of him. I feel like we haven't
Yeah.
seen enough of him. Like you said, like Shelly said, like if Chris was there from day one and we got to see this connection grow, I think like it would be like a real life thing. I think that them
Mm.
only having 3 days is like really difficult to navigate,
Yeah.
because it's like you do see, I feel like we're not seeing enough of Shelly and Chris. Like this episode was
Yeah.
all Nicolandria. Last episode was, I don't even know, but I don't remember seeing Shelly and Chris. I feel like we're not seeing enough of their connection. So
Yeah.
the I think she's definitely like attracted to him physically, and I think
Mm.
I thought the flowers were cute because it's like, what else can you do in here?
Yeah.
It looks like in Casa they like maybe have pre-made breakfast, because the breakfast, like I seen them eggs. Those are from a restaurant. I don't know. It seems like catered or whatever. But I
Uh,
I think her having to bring him back regardless and explore that in front of Ace, and Ace seems to like Coco.
yeah.
He's complimenting her. They look good together.
Hmm.
But again, I think Ace is playing a game, and he thinks the move is ultimately ending up with Shelly, and
Hmm.
I think he's gonna really see that through, because he thinks that's the gameplay, right? Like I think
Yeah.
he's studied the show, he studied who, like the patterns of what wins, and I think that he's gonna try and play the game and go with Shelly. But we
Yeah.
that's the beauty, right? You never know if like Shelly's gonna go with Chris, because I think at this point, you think the audience would be open to Casa Amor relationships?
I do. I feel like people don't really like Ace and they might be happy to see like I said, I want her to go to Casa and find someone better for her. So I feel like Chris could be that, but maybe it's just that he's tall. I don't know. Like that gives some extra points. But
What do you think of Chris? I don't know if you noticed that Chris said that Huda's on his radar because of her kiss.
oh, I didn't hear him say
Yeah,
that.
he
Oh
said that.
no.
Like he said, he was like, damn, like that was hot. Like she's maybe she's back on my radar, like because of the kiss in the game.
See, I feel like Chris would obviously be Huda's type. I feel like, I
She
mean, he's
picked him.
tall and
She picked
yeah,
him, right?
yeah,
She picked him for the, and Hood is so short. Like she really doesn't need anybody like uberly
no,
tall. Like it really
no,
pisses me off when I see a 5 foot girl with like a 6'5" guy. It's like, girl, leave the tall ones for us tall girlies. Like
yeah,
we don't have a lot. I don't want to say us tall girlies because I'm not that tall, but you know what I mean? But like
yeah.
Chris needs to be with like the Andrinas of the world because she's a
Mhm.
tall girl. I think Andrina's like, I don't know if you noticed when Olandria was leaving and all the girls were hugging, like she's towering over all of
Yeah,
the girls. Andrina's, I think she's like a 6 footer. She's probably like 5'11" or 6 feet.
she would be a good match with Chris then. Like, I feel like he's gonna end up with somebody if Shelly ends up going back to Ace, like either Huda or maybe. But Andrina seems to be liking who she
Locked
paired up with.
in. We haven't seen
Yeah,
them
they were
though. We haven't
cuddling.
seen them. Are they there?
No,
It's
that's why
like
I was like, is
Pepe and
Pepe
her.
there? Like, we haven't seen half these people in like a week. I don't
All
know
right.
where they went.
Where the hell is Iris? Where's Iris? Where's Pepe? Where's, you know what I mean? Like, but I think what we've seen of Adriana and Brian's like they are cuddling and snuggling in
Mhm.
bed, which is a good indicator that they like each other. But I do think, yeah, Huda definitely picked Chris as one of her 2 people that she was interested in.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen much of her connection with JD either.
No.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe Chris starts pulling her for chats.
How strange to spend like a good chunk of this episode on like the Nick and Olandria date outside of they have 2 full villas of people and we're focused on these 2 people. Like there's so many of them there and there could be so many stories to tell, but obviously they must not be good stories or they'd be
Yeah, they're trying
focusing
to
on them.
hand us winners on a silver platter. Like they're like, here's
Yeah,
the
and they
winners,
don't
which I'm not gonna lie, Ashley. If they were
what?
a thing, I'd vote for them to
Yeah.
win.
I think anybody would. I feel like we are on board with this couple. We like them. So I don't care how we got here. Like I said, I think it was a little produced, but it's still if they like each other, they like each other. It doesn't matter how they got there. So
I just don't see it with Sierra. I just
no.
don't see it with Sierra. And I don't think that Nick is gonna be able to stand seeing Sierra with another guy.
No.
That's number one. And I just don't like obviously the minute Sierra gets back, I think Olandria is just the type of girl that's going to tell her instantly. Me and
hmm
Nick shared a kiss outside a challenge.
Well, I think even if they are bringing everybody back, I'm assuming they're gonna have to do a recoupling, or they wouldn't actually let all those people stay the night there on that first night, would they? There must be something.
They're going to have
You
to
don't
because
think they would
remember
bring?
last season when all of the guys basically brought somebody back from Casa?
Yeah.
All the guys basically brought, and they
hmm
all stayed for a few days until
Yeah.
they did a recoupling. Because nobody's single right now,
No.
technically.
That's just so that's like there's basically no point in even doing Casa Amor then. It's just like they might as well just brought some people into the villa. So
Yeah, because yeah, they
they're
don't.
taking us on a ride this
They're
season.
taking us on that. They're
We don't know
taking.
where we're
Yeah,
going.
we don't know where we're going. Literally, we're in the dark here. Everybody's coming back. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. Like, but
Yeah.
like you said, like that was my favorite part. Is like, oh my god, he brought somebody back, bastard. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But we
Uh-huh.
lost that element.
Yeah, I don't know why they would take that away because that was definitely like they even put like some clips on their page the other day, which is like the top like 6 moments from that portion, like when they come back. So they got to be doing something exciting,
Well,
but
it's
we'll
also
see.
because there were no strong couples and there were a lot of single people going into Casa. So Andrina was
True.
definitely coming back with somebody. Huda was definitely coming back with somebody. Iris was definitely coming back with somebody. And Amaya was definitely coming back with somebody. The only
Yeah.
3 that were like, are they, is Sierra, Olandria, and Shelly. Those would have been the only 3 to say, oh, what's going on? Taylor's keeping Clark. Taylor would have came back with Clark no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, so
Maybe what they realized was last season with almost everyone bringing somebody back, that gave more potential for drama over the course of the next few days versus like originally like maybe one or two people would bring someone back, and there would be that moment of like, oh, they brought someone back, but then the drama's kind of over. So maybe they thought it's more spicy to bring everyone together and see what happens. But I liked the moment that we got, but maybe
Yeah. What did
they're
you
trying to drag it up.
what did you think of Nick's reaction when Landry told him that Chris was 6'7"? He's actually 6'8", but
I
she
know.
said he's
I feel like
6'7".
she was trying to soften the blow a little by like shaving an inch off. She was like 6'7" does not sound as bad as 6'8", right? But no, it was so funny. I mean, he was definitely like the same reaction that we all had when we realized she was paired up with someone so tall, because obviously Ace, somebody said he was in the dangly gang, like his feet dangle on the chair. So, I mean, it's not like, some men are short kings. We love short men. Ace is exceptionally on the shorter side. So it's like, one of his main,
He's 5'10". I don't know that I buy that.
no, maybe like 5'7"
Yeah. And
ish.
I love how he was like, I don't care. Like he
Yeah.
tries to have like tall man's complex, like to where he's like a 5'9" with the soul of a 6'4" guy, but like he doesn't, because he tried to seem really unbothered by it. He was like, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care. And then in the game, he was like, they got 6'8" people over there. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, you care. You definitely
Yeah.
care. Or
And then
else
they
you
had,
wouldn't have brought it up. That wouldn't have been a thought in your mind. So
well, yeah, they had to rub it in by like throwing in that the girl with the tallest man kissed him. So he knew it was Shelly, and then she won that one. So
yeah. Yeah.
they
What
just
did
had
you
to
think
rub
of
it
the
in.
challenge?
Was a lot. I normally don't like to watch all the kissing and I fast forward it, but I was like, I'm gonna probably miss something important that we have to talk about, because they were doing more than just kissing. They were doing all kinds of acrobatics and cheerleader moves. They were all over the
Yeah.
place. So
I didn't find it sexy. I'm like, I
no.
get it. You want the kiss to be hot so you could beat the villain, but I'm like, what about like, I think one girl, Coco, like just put Ace's hat on and started straddling him, because I'm like, what about putting his hat on? Did you think made this kiss hotter? Or
Yeah.
like Huda stuck his chain in her mouth and then kissed him, and I'm like, what about metal like makes it sexy? It's not sex. This doesn't make it sexy. Like,
I know. I know. There's not much they have to work with. Like I feel like one year I think they've like jumped in the pool, but they got those mic packs on, so I don't think they're allowed to do that anymore.
I
So
thought Sierra and Elon's kiss was sexy. Like that
yeah.
was sexy.
Hmm.
But other than
Yeah.
that, like Austin hanging upside down on the plant, I'm like,
It's
that's
so
not hot.
subjective too. Like I don't know who's rating it, right? It's like whoever the producers are deciding. So it's like, how do they know like what's hot to one person is not hot to a
Yeah,
different person? So
right.
I really feel like Zach is not actually into Amaya at all. Do you feel like that?
I
I hate
don't
that for her,
know.
but
We
what
heard
is
her
with his
saying that.
haircut? Is that a thing? Like
Okay.
it's
It's like, I think he like wanted to do a fade, but like he didn't want to fully commit to a fade, so it's like a long fade. Like, I don't
it
know.
looks like he put a bowl on his head and cut it, because it's like this short up here.
I
Like it
don't
just
know
does
what
not look
he's
right.
doing.
Or
I
is that a
don't
thing? I'm not the coolest person, so I'm not always up with
know.
the trends. So
I don't
it's
know.
not
I
a
don't know.
thing.
But why do you feel like he's not into him? I feel like we didn't see a lot of them this episode. But she did say
I just in the kissing.
opportunely.
I
So we got gratuitously and we have opportunely from
Well,
Amaya.
I think we did get a comment last week where the person was like, she has a speech impediment and that's why she pronounced it gratitually. But I was like, I don't think a speech impediment would do that. Like, I think she was trying to be funny, like ratatouille, gratitude. But now I do believe it is speech impediment, because she's done that with another word now with the,
Opportunely.
yeah.
And I did see one of her like people who speak or like that are Dominican that speak
Mhm.
Spanish, and they were saying that even her Spanish is off. Like like she doesn't speak
Yeah.
Spanish properly. So I was like, "Oh, it's not just like an English thing."
No, I think someone said she has a speech impediment. Obviously, we don't like to diagnose people if they don't come out and say that that's what
Right.
they
Right.
have. But there's always professionals out there watching these shows and they say that she has a speech impediment. So
Okay.
that makes sense. I don't think it's like a language barrier. I think it's like mouth, like I don't know what the speech impediment is, but
Yeah.
maybe like a lisp
Okay.
or something. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
But also
That makes more sense.
people that speak a different language, sometimes they combine the languages, right? And like
That's what I
make
just thought she was doing. But then
yeah.
when I seen the TikTok that she wasn't speaking Spanish properly, I'm like, oh, it's not because that's her dominant language.
Hmm.
But whatever.
But I love her.
I love
I
her.
know.
Like
I'm like I love her little
she's the only like
special
to me
things.
genuine. Like she's the only
Yes.
one that I think is not hyper aware that the camera's there. She's not trying to put on a show. She's like really authentically being herself.
Yeah.
And I think if she did partner with somebody, she could go to the end. I think she's loved like how Bergie was.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
remember Bergie just
totally.
didn't have any connections the whole season. And then
Hmm.
in Casa he met his match. You know, he met and they
Yeah.
made it to the finals. And they're still
Yeah,
together.
I feel like she could be the couple that we root for if we could just find her male Amaya. Like, we need that version of her. Like, there is nobody on her level, I don't feel like. There's someone that's like not gonna be upset by her calling them baby and someone who's genuine. Because I just
Do
don't
you
think Zach is genuine.
see anybody in Casa that you would like for her that she's not coupled
I
with?
kind of feel like the guy with Huda, JD, would be good with her. I think they would be good.
I
Yeah.
thought that too. That's why I was upset when Zach went back and told JD that he had kissed Amaya because I was like,
Mhm.
that's her other person that we kind of seen her gravitating toward.
Yeah, I feel like they would be a good match. I think he's very sweet and chill, and I don't think all of her little quirks would bother him. The way like Ace got so annoyed, and even Austin got annoyed with her stuff. I think JD would be cool with it. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm very confused by
if the I was gonna say
Austin.
if the producers are listening, put Amaya with JD, please, because apparently we get to ask what we want. So
Well, let's see. Right. Apparently, y'all are listening. So, put
let's
Amaya with JD.
request.
I think that Chris, if Shelly doesn't pick Chris, I think he might hop over to Huda, which I think Huda
Yes.
prefers Chris anyway. So
Hmm.
there might be an opening for JD. I don't
Yeah.
know who I think Zach with the K even likes. Like he kind of just seems like he's there.
Yeah, he's not giving genuine to me, and that might be because he was friends with Miguel, which I think Miguel was great and genuine, but I don't know, something off about someone that goes on like that their friend was on. You know what I mean? Like, I think, not saying, I mean, obviously he might want what Miguel found on there and he might have genuine intentions, but I don't know. He was on like another reality show too, right?
That's
Big
what I was gonna say.
Brother.
He was on
Hmm.
something else. He was on something else. I don't remember what it was, but he was on something else. But I don't come for me. I like Miguel now, and I think Miguel and Leah are super freaking cute in their goals. But when Miguel was on the show, I was not buying that he was into Leah. But again, I know Leah came out and said production was doing all kind of funky little edits and
Hmm.
not allowing them to talk to each other, and that they had expressed an interest in each other way before. It kind of seemed like to me Miguel like was seeing that Leah was popular based on votes that were coming through, and then after he got
Hmm.
out of the villa there was no way that after you know what's going on there's no way that you're like gonna be like, but at first I
Yeah.
wasn't sold. I'm like, does he like this girl? I don't know. It did seem like either one of them liked each other until it was like at
Yeah.
the end, then you're like, oh, okay.
I
But I know they were keeping them apart or something. But
Yeah, I kind of wonder now if like maybe Nick and Alandria did express an interest at the start, but the producers really wanted Taylor and Alandria to be a thing because, they wanted to recreate like certain things from last season, and so they pushed them together. But that I think they should have just let things unfold. I don't know if they did that, but
I
yeah, we
don't know
still
because
can't figure out why Taylor and Alandria are so set on each other, or she is at least.
she's set on him and he's not set on her. He was waiting for
Hmm.
something else to come in. Nothing was coming in. Look at Clark. Like there's no other bombshell that's come in that looks like Clark. So
No.
everybody that's come in has not been Taylor's type.
Yeah.
So but and I don't know. I feel like Jalen was Olandria's type, and he
Yeah.
just didn't have enough time in there. I feel like if he had
Hmm.
enough time in there, he would have really given Taylor a run for his money. He
And
would have
maybe
really.
that's why they're doing this whole bring the people back from Casa and stay for a bit so that they do get that time to make sure, like to see how their previous couple is doing with the new people and maybe to like because I think sometimes in Casa they get so distracted thinking about the person they left and they just want to get back to them. And then they get back and they're actually into someone else now and they're like, well, damn, I should have explored more. So maybe that's why they're doing this, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just wish Nick would have pulled, at least we would have seen him pull her because they
Mhm.
didn't pull each other. It's like, even you hear Nick say, like, I've told you how beautiful you are. I've told you I wanted to get, and he's like, she's like, no, you've never told me. But
Yeah.
he has told the camera. That's what's
Yeah.
so, it's in his confessionals. He's never said, I want to get to know Olandria, but he's definitely expressed that he's attracted to her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That I will say, like, he has made that clear. And even how he looks at her, like, you know,
Mhm.
how he was looking at her in the twerk challenge, it's like,
Yeah.
okay. But I think even in Jeremiah's interview on the Biofiles, he was like, really? Like,
Yeah.
no, like, I don't see that at all. Like, why do people think that that's a thing? And it's
Mhm.
because we've seen, you know, Landria kiss him in the beginning. I just feel like it's too far gone, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Like, they're too far into the experience, but I would love for it to happen. I would vote for it to happen. I think Nick is smitten as a kitten, and I think Olandria's interest is peaked at the very least. Like,
Mhm.
I think if Taylor wasn't there in her face with this girl, she would, and Sierra wasn't a thing,
Mhm.
she would be down.
Now, why did they play a Willy Wonka song? I didn't
I didn't
I
even notice
didn't
that.
get that. Yeah.
Why did they play that?
That creepy like imagination song. Like when that's from Willy Wonka.
Yes, it's all coming.
But I'm like, why? Like they usually have the best music on this show and I'm like this just does not fit in this scene at all. And
Yeah,
same with like that Chicago song they were playing too. The music was a little off tonight. Maybe that's not what we should be focusing on. But I was like,
yeah,
we're in Fiji. Why are you playing a song about Chicago? Come on, get it together. They're usually really good with the songs, but
yeah.
I wasn't feeling it tonight.
Not feeling it tonight. I don't
No.
know. I don't know. You guys let us know in the comments like what you feel
Yeah.
about Nicolandria. Are you buying it? Is it forced? Can you see it
Yeah.
being a thing? I've seen some discourse online saying that like they don't think that Nick is into her. Like they just think that he's just like a placeholder until Sierra gets back. But I don't
Hmm.
know. At this point, he knows that. I don't know, right? I think because I've seen an interest from Nick's end just even before this happened, I'm like, nah,
Hmm.
he's into it. But I do think that when Sierra comes back, especially if she's with Elin, like he's gonna be all about her again.
Yeah.
Especially his Costa experience wasn't the same as hers. Like she found a connection and he didn't. So
The part that's weird and that gives produced is that like what were they gonna do if Nick and Olandria did get picked and someone else
they would
was
have been
left
going
out?
home. Like if it was
Yeah.
Amaya and Austin left sitting up, they would have went home. Hundred
Yeah.
percent. 100%.
But it seems like they had it all planned out. Like obviously maybe they didn't, but it was so like they were still in the same outfits going off to the Jeep. Like it didn't
I
seem like
think
that was like a scramble, you know?
I feel like they had a plan.
Yeah.
If they knew either Austin and Amaya were leaving or possibly Nick and Alandria. And I
Yeah.
think that because of the discourse online, they were like, if it's Nick and Alandria, this is where we're gonna go with it. If it's
Hmm.
Austin and Amaya, they asses is going home, like for real, for
Hmm.
real. You know, so I think that production had a plan either which way. Which I mean,
That
at
makes
the end of the
sense.
day, that's their job, right? To
Yeah.
produce the show. They seen they were losing the audience after the Jeremiah and Hannah vote. And but I think like
Yeah.
if you know that your islanders are hyper aware of the cameras, they're hyper aware of America.
Yeah.
They're eliminating competition instead of eliminating based on Love Island and the rules of Love Island. I feel like it would have been fair to bring Hannah and Jeremiah back and say, you guys eliminated them for the wrong reasons. And
Yeah.
America saw that and America like, you know, saved them or whatever, you know?
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
What can you
Yeah,
do?
well
I'm
let
still
let
I'm still not over Jeremiah being gone.
right. I know, especially hearing him on the biofiles. I thought he was like, he sound like everyone kept trying to say, "Oh, they cut out his confessionals. We never saw like what he was saying and he was probably bad." And hearing him talk on there, I thought he was good. He didn't really like slam Huda, but he gave the truth. And I know a lot of people still think he was like manipulating her or whatever, but he did admit he was like, I got too deep too fast. I promised too much too quickly, and then I realized that and like tried to put the brakes on, and then she lost it. So,
Yeah.
and she was doing the same. It's not like it was just him. Like they were both
Yeah.
going too fast. So,
Yeah, and I think that if you guys didn't listen to the interview, I did think Nick talked about himself way too much. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, shut the fuck up. We don't care." But I do think that Nick asked like leading questions, like he was trying to get him to say, like, to kind of talk shit in a sense. And Jeremiah
Yes.
didn't. He
No.
approached the interview very delicately. He tried to be respectful in his answers, in my
Mm,
opinion. And I think the biggest thing that came out of the interview for me was him saying um that where they went wrong is he expressed how he is when he's in a relationship. Like he told Huda that I do this, like I do the flowers, I do the dates, I do the cute little things. And then the next day she started expecting those things of him.
yeah.
And he didn't make it clear, like, this is how I am in a relationship, and we're not
Hmm.
in a relationship. This is how I am. It takes me months to get here, not days. Like, and
Hmm.
so that's why she had these super high expectations and then was upset about the pancakes and was upset about all of these things. And he said he tried to meet those expectations even though he was uncomfortable with it, even though he wasn't there yet. And he did
Yeah.
admit that he should have voiced those things to her. And I think
Yeah.
another like big moment in those interviews for me was when he said that she did try and pursue him, which I think I said that on on here. I said
Hmm.
Huda is going to keep pulling him for chats. Like she, even though she had this blow up, even though they had this closure talk in the speakeasy that Jeremiah said was 3, possibly 4 hours long, that she was going to keep pulling him. And he did
Hmm.
say in the vow files that she did keep pulling him up until the day that he left and trying to kiss him,
Hmm.
which they obviously didn't show us because I think at this point they are trying to give her a redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the producers and the other cast knew that like they couldn't stay there together. Like one of them had to go. And like obviously we all would have preferred Huda and felt like Jeremiah deserved a chance, but I think she just gives so much drama to the villa that
Is she giving drama though now that
not
you say it?
now. Now
It's
she's on her best behavior.
she's not giving
But
drama. It's boring. There is I think but I think it would have been interesting having them both stay, like you
yeah.
said, and to see if this is to see who the problem was, right? If Jeremiah is moving on with Andrina and we constantly see Huda trying and trying and trying with Jeremiah and he's moving on, that would have been a clear indicator to maybe
Hmm.
some of the viewers, like she's the problem. And I think it would have added it was entertaining. So I do think that, but I do think that seeing her constantly do that, like people, it wouldn't have helped the crazy narrative that she's crazy and just, holding
Hmm.
on and like not taking a hint.
No.
So I thought that was interesting to hear Jeremiah say that. And like, we know
Hmm.
that we didn't see that at all. So, and he also made it very clear that he would never talk to her again. So if anybody thought that there was a chance of them rekindling or recoupling, how she was like, "Oh, don't forget about me." In the Selly interview, he said he was like, "God, no." When they asked him,
No.
when they asked him if would he consider like reconciling with her after the villa, he said, "God,
Yeah.
no,"
No.
because of
And
how he spoke to him about
yeah, it's hard to come back from that when you talk about someone like that. And also, Hannah did a few interviews too, and she, wasn't very happy with how Huda treated her. And there was a few things she mentioned, like she wanted to tell Pepe about some of her traumas, and so Huda was like, "Oh, well, like practice on me," and so she told Huda everything she was going to tell Pepe, and then that was when Huda decided to go and pull Pepe without telling her right after that, and she said like. Yeah. Then there was also times when they did try to check her, like when she was like, "Oh, that was my dream date." Then she was like, "They didn't plan that date. They had to go on that date." And like Iris didn't do anything wrong to you. Like they were checking her and we just didn't get shown
so
that.
Hannah
So
said that in her
yeah,
interview with Nick.
that one, yes, that was the one with
Yeah,
Nick. And
because I
they've done
watched
a
the one on
few.
Chicks in the Office. But okay, so she said that they did that.
They did.
And what did she say Huda's response was?
She didn't say what her response was. She just said it didn't get shown to us. So they said they did try to check her a lot though. So I don't know if I don't know if it really happened or if it really got cut. That's what she said though. So and they
I
did
know.
ask.
Oh, go
Oh,
tell me, because
well,
I didn't watch
I
any
was
of that one.
they did ask her like point blank about the hand spit, which I thought was bold of them, but they did.
How did they word that? Like, what did they say?
Literally, they were like, so like that moment when you like spit on your hand and stuff. They like said it right out, and it was awkward because Nick is like a mid-40s man, and Hannah, I don't know, was she 22? Who knows? But it's creepy. But he also was doing his job. I get it, but I don't know that I could ask her that. I don't think
She
chicks in the
said
office ask her that. But
they didn't. They
uh,
said a moment where you and Pepe got intimate, and she kind of made like a quirky little face. She was like,
oh my
but
gosh,
what did
she
she
thought
say?
she said she never thought anyone would see that. Like she definitely didn't realize the cameras were that good in the night vision. So,
Okay.
yeah, and she said, and then no, then they went a step further and they were like, did it last longer than 26 seconds? So they were really like asking the hard-hitting
What did she
questions.
say? What was
She
the
said
answer?
she said yes, and she was definitely like trying to dodge it. She was like yes and laughing. So, but they were also asking her about like Charlie and would she see him now, and she was like yes. And then they were like, he said he like can't watch the show because of you, and she seemed like confused, like why? And like I don't know. She didn't really say like who she liked more. I think that might be why they like voted her off because she seemed so into Charlie and then all of a sudden so into Pepe, and that maybe they didn't find genuine, but she still seems to be the same. Like she likes them both. So I don't know. She doesn't want to
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah, she did say on Chicks in the Office that she did talk about Charlie a lot, so maybe
Hmm.
that played into their decision because she said she
Yeah.
did talk about him often, but she also said that Charlie never wanted to talk about life outside the villa. That he would
Oh.
just kind of like she was like it was almost like she was like I wasn't sure if he was even interested in seeing me outside the villa because she said that he would be like, "Oh, let's just focus on right now," and that he would be like, Pepe lives close to you. Like he lives a lot closer to you than I do. Like I actually live in Australia." So it kind of like gives that Charlie
Oh.
maybe wasn't that into her. So
Well,
she seemed very confused about like where he was standing like post villa because she said he wouldn't talk about a future outside of the villa.
what he did say on his interview that like last summer he was with a girl in the United States, but they had to break up because of the long distance. So maybe that's like he was worrying about that. And he did say like he only went on because that ex-girlfriend loved to watch the show and he just wanted to
Petty.
make her jealous. So it
Petty.
seems like he wasn't that into it, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you could tell, like, even on the island, he wasn't
Hmm.
into it. And then she did say that she wasn't sure why the girls thought she wasn't exploring because she said she had made it really clear that she was excited for Casa Amor to see what
Yeah.
boys were in there to explore with. So, what
Yeah,
can you
maybe.
do? I was more upset about Jeremiah than I was Hannah, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jeremiah deserved, I think, we wanted to see what would happen in another connection. We only got to see this toxic, explosive one, and we won't be able to tell who the problem was till we see them both in new connections. And even
Okay.
I was just gonna say, even Huda doesn't seem into her new connection, so I don't think we're gonna see the real her because she doesn't really care about this guy. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. I guess it was like I was trying to figure out what like how or why there would be this belief there that Jeremiah was repeating a pattern. Like
Yeah.
when Ace had first said it, I was like, oh, he's jumping in too quick. I'm like, okay, I could see that because they're just locking in and they're not having any other conversations. But then when you're accusing him of doing it again after he's already explored a connection with Iris and it's a friendship, not every connection's going to work out as he's seen
Hmm.
firsthand with Amaya. You know what I mean? And then you do find somebody you like as you have with Shelly and you're locking in on Shelly. Why would that be seen as a repetitive pattern? Like it just didn't make sense. So when Ace accused him of doing it again, I was like, you're a hater. Like
Yeah.
you're just a hater.
Yeah, definitely was giving jealous. But
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
should we
So
get
you think
into
Jeremiah's gone? You think he's gone?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I do too.
I know. I had hope when they took Nick and Nicolandria off in the Jeep. I was like, oh, they're doing something a little different. Maybe we'll get some people back, but I don't know. Like, I think it's too late now. Like, you remember we thought they'd bring Belle Dasher back, and now it's like, oh, who was that again? Like,
Yeah.
things move so fast, and I think
Mhm.
they're doing this Nick and Nicolandria thing to distract us from missing Jeremiah and
Mhm.
everybody else. So.
For sure. I knew Nick and Alejandro were not leaving. Like, I knew
Yeah.
that even when they were like voting them off before the Jeep scene, I'm like, they aren't going anywhere. Like, I don't even know why everybody's crying. Like, they are not going anywhere. Like, I
Yeah,
knew
it's
that,
weird that
but
no one questioned it at all. Like they were all so sad, and I'm like, not even one person was like, "There's no way." Like they were just buying it, which was weird.
well, to their point, nobody's ever been kicked out and then like come back from
Yeah.
their experience. So
Mhm.
I guess we'll see how this unfolds. We have an episode tomorrow, which we'll
Mhm.
see how everybody's coming back to the villa tomorrow. So that's what we're
That's
getting.
interesting. Yes.
Yeah,
We'll see how that goes down.
see how that goes down. All right. So we're
Sweet.
going to talk about the valley?
The Valley.
The valley.
And
Okay.
then Real Housewives of Miami. But
Okay.
first, the Valley.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yes. So Valley starts with Nia, Zach. They're having a little. Okay. Something I found confusing about the scene is I swear they were at like a breakfast place, but then they were on the phone with Kristen, who I swear was eating dinner with Luke. Did you notice that? Or
Maybe
was
they
I
were
just
just having,
imagining breakfast
yeah,
for dinner?
lunch. I think we even hear Kristen say like, "Oh, they're it's interrupting our lunch or whatever."
Oh, lunch.
So,
Okay, okay. That makes more
yeah,
sense. It totally
yeah.
just looked like a little nice dinner because she was drinking like 5 glasses of wine. So
I
I
did see
thought it
that. I
was
did
dinner.
see that. I did see that. Which
Not that I'm opposed to that, but
I don't know why when I seen Kristen's like pregnant or when I seen her engagement pictures, I thought she was pregnant in them. But maybe I'm
no.
clearly mistaken. But so I
No,
don't have
she,
a good visual.
I'm just
Remember.
trying to do math here. I'm like, okay, the baby was born in June, so
Mhm.
she would have got pregnant when? September?
Girl, no, I have no idea. I have
Math is not my
absolutely
strong
no
suit.
idea.
I
Mine
think
either.
September, yeah, September. So she must have got, because I believe this was filmed in August.
Mm,
So she wasn't pregnant yet, but they were working on it and
okay.
successful soon after. So yeah. Yeah, no, she wasn't pregnant yet. Yeah, so they have a little breakfast, dinner, lunch, whatever it was, meeting to organize the trip. And obviously, Nia said she didn't want to invite Janet. I'm shocked they even got the invite in the end. Like, I probably wouldn't have invited them with everything going on, but they were much kinder than I would have been. And so they agree that she can come. And they're also talking about Kristen's engagement, which we know is coming up. So
Yes. Yes. I'm
then,
confused why Janet was invited if she doesn't get along
yeah,
with Kristen, who is getting engaged, and Nia, it's supposed to be her trip, who she also doesn't get along with.
no.
So I didn't,
No,
like she would have not been invited. Like,
right? Especially after we saw last season, like Zach and I think it was Jasmine didn't get invited to the Big Bear trip because that was Janet's trip. And like they're actually like funny and bring a lot to the show, whereas like Janet's not bringing a lot. I don't think we needed the Karen energy in Hawaii, but
yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
must have thought she brings something.
I
So
guess.
then they got into their little man meeting uh you like Jack's being back on, obviously it does bring more things to talk about and like more interesting, but it's also like he just like I don't know, he's not the Jax where it used to be entertaining to like hate him. Now it's just sad, I think, like
He's just so woe is me.
he
Everything
is.
pity freaking party. It's just like I thought that whole meeting was cringy. And again, woe is me. Oh my God. I just got out of rehab. I'm suffering. I this, I that. I'm like, shut up, Jax.
And he doesn't cry any tears. Like every time he's crying, he just like keeps dabbing and there's nothing there. It's like, okay. And even I saw someone post, I can't remember who now, but the dog in the window was like judging them too. There was a dog in the window just staring at them like, what the fuck are you guys doing in this little circle? Because I appreciate that they're like I guess it's therapy session. I don't know. He's a life coach, right? Not a
Yeah.
therapist, but I
Yeah.
appreciate the sentiment of like working on ourselves. But yeah, once Jax is there, it just takes away the genuineness. No one believes he's really changing. So
Yeah.
what did you think about Danny admitting he like hides his drinking? What did you think of that?
I did think that was a big move of him. And I think like you said, he hides it from Nia. Like, I don't
Yes.
feel like he hides it from everyone else. He hides it from his wife because he knows his
Hmm.
wife doesn't like him drinking. Now, I don't necessarily if that is reason enough to conclude that he has a drinking problem, but
Mhm.
I think they say like admitting it out loud into yourself is the first
Yeah.
step. So
I know I don't know why they keep trying to make it a thing on the show. Like nothing has happened to do with his drinking on the show. Like they have this one moment at the Halloween party, which yes, that is bad that he did, but it wasn't on the show. So they need to just let that go. And like I said, if he does have a drinking problem, it's going to come out eventually. Like if he's hiding it from Nia, that's a marriage problem that they have. And if they don't want to talk about it on camera, like the rest of the cast just kind of needs to stop trying to make it a thing, make it a storyline, because it's not affecting any of the other cast members. Like yeah, that's their issue. And I mean, they have 4 kids under 4. If he's only gonna be able to hide his drinking for so long. Like he's a busy guy, and eventually that's gonna come to a head. And if he decides eventually to get sober or whatever, like that'll be his journey and his story. And I don't know why this cast is so obsessed with it.
they're just trying to give him a storyline, to be
Yeah, that's true.
honestly. I just think they're trying to give him a storyline, and I think Nia said it like, oh, Janet's always talking about everyone else, and I think
Mhm.
it's a way of deflecting off of her marriage, but also like her marriage is quite boring, and honestly, I can't
Yeah.
stand Janet, especially after this episode. Like, girl, just shut up. Like, I know we're not at El Coyote yet, but like this
We
whole
can go
episode,
there.
I was just like, what are you like? Who's even talking to you? Number one,
Mhm.
like we're not even having a conversation with you, and you just want to bring up the same stuff over and over and over again. And she's a bully at this point, and
Yeah.
it's almost like she's doing it to get camera time. Like she's doing it
Yeah.
to be talked about.
Yeah. I agree because I know she was really not liked after last season, and usually that's a point where they will let you get a redemption storyline and you'll be more liked the next season. And it seems like she's just doubled down and gone the other direction because I think she's realized being hated is being talked about, right? And if she was just being chill and quiet, like she probably wouldn't even be there. Like I don't think they would have a need for her on the cast if she wasn't this character of like just causing trouble for no reason. So I think she's realized she has to do that to stay on the show, but it's not that fun to watch. It's like Jax's tears and Jax's fake therapy. It's like it's not fun to see.
What happened at El Coyote? Like like Kristen was saying something to,
Well,
and then who was she talking? Like Kristen was talking to
Michelle,
um the Michelle, and then
yeah,
Janet jumped in somehow, and then it got and then Nia, and then again she brings up the ass grabbing yet again,
yeah.
and it's like, why can my husband not call you a Karen or a snake?
Mhm.
But you could just talk about this, like let it go. My God, he apologized. My God, like stop
Yeah.
bringing it up. I didn't understand how it went from Kristen and Michelle to now it's the Janet show.
Yeah, they were trying to blame Kristen for this whole Jenna of it all, and I don't know because it wasn't Kristen, right? It was Zach that had brought it up. So, I mean, we all know Zach and Kristen are both messy, and just like Sheena, they like to bring these stories to, but like that's needed. We need them to do that. So, I thought it was weird that Michelle was blaming Kristen for that because she didn't even do it. I don't know where that came from.
Mhm.
And I think like Janet is right, unfortunately, about like when Kristen pretends that she's not messy, because we all know she is, but like the way Janet delivers things is just so weird. It's like you could just make a small point, but she just goes so hard and makes it something that it's not, and then it's so impossible to agree with her.
Yeah, but also Janet, no one's fucking talking to you. Okay,
No,
this
it wasn't even
like,
about her.
and
You
yes,
don't
and
even
she
go
made
here.
that whole moment about herself. Like
Yeah,
this somehow went from Janet, like Michelle talking to Kristen, and then Janet jumps in and starts attacking Kristen, and then attacks Nia, and it was just a lot, and it's just like I just don't like Janet. Like she would
no.
have been had to catch these hands for sure.
And why was Sheena there? She was just sitting there. I don't think she said a word the whole time. She just looked miserable and like she didn't want to be there. I didn't really understand. Like usually she's there for the mess and she brings some kind of gossip or story or like pushes it along, but she didn't say anything the whole time. So I didn't really get that, like
Yeah,
why
I
she
don't
was
know.
there.
It always cracks me up when they have her on the screen and it says Sheena's friend or Kristen's
Yeah.
friend. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's a bit of a downgrade. I was thinking about that this episode. I'm like, as much as I like her mess and I want her on the show, part of me is like, this is sad and beneath her, maybe. Like you had this amazing run on Vanderpump Rules. Maybe it's like you just have to let that phase of your life go and move on to other things, right? Like Ariana has done. And yeah, I don't know. Like they are genuinely her friends, so maybe it doesn't feel like a big deal. But yeah, it just feels like such a downgrade for her. Like you were on the main cast and now you're just sitting here with no lines at a dinner. Like we're just not used to seeing so little from her. It's
yeah.
weird, you know?
They either need to put her on as a full-time cast so that she could start bringing the drama, or like you said, move on. Although I think that with Scandival blowing up the way it did, Ariana blew up
Yeah.
more than anyone could ever imagine. It's so funny that you see Love Island fans who don't know who Ariana is. Like you
Yeah.
see new watchers who never watched Vanderpump and they're like the cheese grater F yourself
Yeah.
with the cheese grater
Yeah.
clip is like coming up and they're like, "Wait, this is the host of Love Island."
Oh
And
my
it's like,
gosh.
oh yeah, yeah,
Wait,
that's
wait till they hear what she did in the backseat with Lala that time, because
yeah,
she's
like
had
you
some
don't know.
spicy storylines. So
Yeah, you don't
mm,
know who Ariana is. And it's just like, of course, like obviously when you have the opportunities that Ariana has, like you're not gonna go back. That's beneath you.
no.
Like Vanderpump is beneath you. Does she still have her sandwich shop with Katie?
I think so. Like I mean, yeah, it's open for sure. I don't know how like it's doing, but yeah, I believe it's open. I would think Katie must be doing it on her own because I don't think Ariana has time for that right now. But yeah, I keep meaning to go. Like the last time I was in LA was the day I was leaving was the day it opened. And so I delusionally was like, should I go by there before I go to the airport? 'Cause I think my flight was at like noon or something. Like, should I go there and grab a sandwich before I go to the airport? It was like, I didn't actually go, thankfully, but it was like 4 hour line just to get in because it was the opening day. So
Yeah,
I don't know how busy it is now, but
I'll
when I
drive
come,
by.
we'll go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drive by and see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Sheena has like Love Island host in her future, but I do feel like she could get something. Like, she is a pretty big star in the reality world. So I think she
Yeah, and I
could.
think her podcast has to be doing well, and I'm sure she
Yeah.
gets brand deals. So I'm sure she's not hurting, but it
I
is
wonder
like
why they didn't put her on like Traders. Like that would be good for her.
sneaky. Yeah,
Or
she's sneaky, sneaky.
yeah. I was gonna say she could be a great trader, but I don't know. She talks too much, so maybe not. But
Messy. She's messy, which we love that. We love that, but
hmm
yeah. But what else happened on Vanderpump? That was, I mean, the trip. We seen them go on the trip and
yeah, so they went, the presidential suite. What was going on with these rooms? Like 3 people to a room. I was like, I would take a small room to not have to stay with all of those people. Because why was Jesse with Zach and
why
why
would
was
they upgrade both of them to the presidential suite? How did that make any sense?
I didn't know there was two. Like,
There's
isn't
only
the whole
one,
point?
right?
Yeah,
There's
there
only one
should just be
presidential
one.
suite. Why would you put him in a room with a couple? Like that's weird. And
I
why
didn't get
wouldn't
that.
Zach give his room to Kristen immediately?
Yeah, maybe like he said that would be suspicious, but I don't think it would be. I mean, yeah, they're like, yeah, I don't think they would think, oh, we're getting engaged. It just could have been a nice gesture, like, oh, you're a nice couple they're trying to have a baby, like, go
But I
get it
guess
on.
like if it's not their trip, it's Nick.
Yeah.
It's technically Nia and Danny's trip. So maybe, I don't know, they'd be like, oh, here, do you guys want it since you guys put this trip together? And they're like,
hmm
oh, no, we don't want the presidential suite. Does anybody else want it? And then Luke and Kristen
Yeah,
would
that
put
would
it
have been good. Because, yeah, I'm like, why were they all staying in a room together? But maybe just in terms of filming, like, just provides more content. Because if you're all separated, it's
Wait,
not a
who
lot to
else was
talk
in a
about.
room together besides Jesse and
I feel like everyone was in a room together except Luke and Kristen. I think Nia and Danny were Brittany was with someone. She wasn't
oh, was
alone.
she? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were all like 3 to a room, which was so
Oh,
weird. I've
okay.
never
All
seen that
right. Yeah,
before.
that's weird.
Yeah, I know Brittany was with maybe not Nia and Danny, maybe Jasmine. There was 3 of them. I don't know. And
Okay.
Jesse was with Zach, which I don't
That's
know how that happened.
so
And
weird.
his boyfriend got like a brain injury. That was scary to see with the show. Hit his
Yeah,
head
and
so
boyfriend's so
hard.
tiny.
He is so tiny. I know.
He's so tiny. I mean, I am curious to see how the conversation's going to go with Jesse and Aaron. I think
Yes.
I am looking forward to that and like getting that settled and seeing them all on a trip. Michelle's all happy with her man and Jesse's
Yeah.
just single. That's nice.
Yeah. I don't like Jesse at all, but I gotta give it to him to committing to the bit of like going on a trip with your ex-wife and her boyfriend who you believe she had an affair with him, and you're gonna go on this trip. Like that's I mean, like we've said, I think they need the money from the show, but
Yeah.
that's a lot. Like most people wouldn't be able to do something like
Mm-mm.
that.
Nope.
Like what is with his eye area? Like, is he on drugs or he just looks that way? Because it's a
Jesse?
lot. No, Michelle's boyfriend. Do you not find he has like
Scary eyes. He
permanently?
does. He
Yes.
does. They're very
Yeah, exactly. But I did see someone say that like so his honey company is called like Kilo. And then people said like he's always making drug references on his Instagram page. I haven't checked that out for myself. I'm just reading the comments, but they're like they think he's but yeah, I mean we've seen on Miami that Lisa's boyfriend is getting accused of the same just for having
That's
eyes in the
why I was
picture.
like,
So
there's so many eye references. I was like, wait, are we on Marisol? Because why is she having eye
it's the
contact?
same
Like, okay,
story.
wait, what happened? Yeah,
Maybe some
there is.
people just have wide eyes and it does not mean
No,
they're doing drugs. So
I just
I don't know what
don't.
it is.
I don't know. I don't find Aaron attractive. I do find him to
No.
be buggy-eyed and strange. But yeah,
I know. I feel bad. Like, I think this is why it's a bad idea to jump from like a marriage to a relationship because I feel like she was treated so badly by Jesse that Aaron looks like a prize. And I don't know, maybe he is really wonderful to her. We don't see a lot of him, but I feel like maybe just being single for a while, figuring yourself out might have been the
yeah.
best move. But they do seem happy so far. But
Yeah, they seem happy. We'll see. I am curious to hear how that conversation's going to go and what Aaron's going to say. I mean, I highly doubt that he's going to be like, "Yeah, we were," like after
yeah.
all this time, but we do see Jenna resurfacing and I guess Michelle's pissed because she thinks she's only coming around.
Yeah.
Apparently she thinks Kristen's the one bringing her around, but clearly we see that it's Sheena bringing her
Mm.
around to be around Aaron. Like, girl, don't nobody want that man but you.
No,
Okay, like
I know. Yeah, uh, yeah. It's an interesting crossover. Like they used to do this a lot on Vanderpump, obviously, like bringing around people that were sleeping with this person's boyfriend or this person's husband, and so it's weird. Like such a small. It's a big city, obviously, but somehow these people just end up interconnected,
yeah.
and it's like a small town. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, we need the drama. So
true.
this episode was a little bit like, but we're gonna get a big engagement next episode, so
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah, when we interviewed Zach, he said he's excited for that moment and it's very sweet. So we're excited to see it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we talk about Real Housewives of Miami now?
Yes, we have an engagement on the Valley, and then we had a wedding
A
on the
wedding.
Housewives.
Yeah, so how many weddings is this for Marisol? Because they kept showing flashbacks of wedding, wedding, wedding. I'm like,
So I was gonna ask you because I'm like, okay, clearly they have like celebratory weddings is what I'm gathering, but they've never officially legally gotten married.
yeah, I didn't realize that. Like, I thought the other weddings were like a real wedding. Like, I remember the Scotland one. I didn't know that that was just like a party and that there wasn't legal. So now it's legal. So they did some flashbacks to her mom because you didn't watch previous seasons, right? So her mom used to be like a really big part of the show, like back when it was on like 10 years ago. She was a really funny lady, but she's not here anymore, which obviously they said in the flashback. So it was sad to see her like crying and worrying about like who was gonna like take care of her and being having access to the money. I'm like, I don't know if that's the best reason to get married to someone, but
Yeah.
they do seem in love. So like they seem
So
happy.
in
So
love. They seem
yeah.
very cute. They seem very, very cute. May this type of love find me, please.
Yeah,
Okay, 'cause
they
this
were
is
really
so cute.
cute. I
And
like
have they been
them.
together for a long time?
So they've been together for 5 years now. So and they have like one of these weddings every couple of years. So now they have a real wedding. So yeah, I didn't think it had been that long. I don't know why. I just feel like she's been single in most of the seasons. But I guess it's been 5 years. They do have a long delay between the Miami seasons. Like I feel like this filmed like a year ago, whereas like, or maybe it didn't. It's just I remember Alexia's divorce was announced a year ago. I think they picked up cameras a little bit and then they went down and back up. Because do you remember at the start of this episode where it like flashed back to 5 months ago, that first scene? And I was like, this hasn't been filming for 5 months already. So I think they did a little camera pickup for
Oh,
the
I
divorce
thought it said
announcement.
5 days ago.
There was one that said 5 months, I
Oh,
swear.
okay.
I saw that.
Maybe I wasn't paying
I could be
attention.
wrong. I know the timeline is weird for this one because I'm
Yeah.
like, some of them, like Orange County just filmed February to April and now it comes out in July. It's like so fast. And then some of them are like a year. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it's harder to keep track of. Yeah, because I did not think she was with him for 5 years. But, anyways, they're happily married. What was with the no helmets on the motorcycles, though? That freaked me out. Or did that not bother you? I was so worried for that.
So crazy is like I didn't even notice it, Ashley. Like
Really?
it didn't even register to me that they didn't have helmets on.
See, I think it's because I've become this like crazy old lady in the neighborhood because you like see kids on their bikes and on their electric scooters, which is the thing now with no helmets, and you're just like, oh my God. That's like,
Talk to mom about this.
see, it's probably nothing I would have noticed before, but now I'm like, oh, someone on a bike without a helmet. I noticed it right away.
You
So
didn't
I was
notice it
like,
at
oh my
all.
gosh.
I
So
didn't
you
notice
have
it,
to
but
wear a helmet.
it makes sense that they're 5 years in and like still in a honeymoon phase. She's just like she was like
Yeah.
crying like he's like the best man I've ever met. I'm like I know that's right.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
That is sweet.
Yeah, he seems like a good match for her. Like she's kind of like she's not like out there, but she, she's like bubbly and like very, he seems just like chill and laid back. Like they're
Mhm.
good balance for each other. So yeah, it's
Like me
nice to
and
see
you.
her. Yeah, exactly. Except I wear helmets, but
That's deeper.
oh man,
Okay, so what was
I'm a
our next
safety
scene?
nerd.
I'm having a
Um, well, there was Adriana and Julia had a little chat. I think she was feeling left out about not being told ahead of all the other girls about the adoption. I don't know. This is something that annoys me personally. I don't know how you feel, but I hate when like you have news or like something's going on and then like someone is mad about the way that you told them or that you didn't tell them first or you told them last or like you know what I mean? Like they kind of like they take it too personally or make it about themselves,
Make
whereas
it
you
about
probably didn't mean a slight by it. That's what I felt like happened there. Like I think she didn't mean to leave her out. I think she just wanted to tell everyone at the same time so she didn't have to worry about all of this, like someone telling someone else they heard before they did. And it's like she couldn't win, really. So
Yeah, I
I don't
do
know.
like she definitely made that moment about herself, which is like I don't realize how you don't realize you're doing that. Like, well, you should have told me
Mhm.
first, or you should have said. What do you think of Adriana and her boyfriend?
I don't know. I'm happy for her. She talks about his sausage a lot, but that's good for her. But
Yeah,
I don't know. She's like,
it's a bit much, and I don't know if I'm like reading his body language wrong because different like foreigners and stuff have like different ways of how they interact, but I feel like he is not into her at all.
yeah, it's hard to say if he's just there for like the cameras or what, because, or sometimes what they do, or like what people are accused of doing on these shows is like hiring a boyfriend for filming, which might be what's happening here. Like there's been a girl I think on Potomac that was accused of that, like basically paying a man to come to these scenes. Because if you're single, you might be like embarrassed, or you might just like want to have someone to show off, or it just gives you more of a storyline. So
Yeah.
they like pay a guy, and so that's what happened
It's
before. So
giving.
that might be what's happening here.
That's what it's giving because even
Yeah,
in that scene where she's like all kissing him and he looks like he's like
he's like, you didn't pay for that part.
yeah, bitch, you only paid for 3 kisses, and this is the fourth one. Get off me. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It seemed like he was kind of like backing up from her, and she's just like, everyone talked about how
yeah,
handsome you were. She's like, I'm gonna go topless. He's like, okay. Like, I don't know. He just doesn't seem
yeah.
into it. He just doesn't seem into it to me.
Which is weird because these are like beautiful women and
Yeah.
obviously on a TV show and they have money and it's like, why would you have to pay someone? But I guess in a pinch or like, you want to, like filming is starting and you're just don't have someone, maybe they're like, or like the fact that he's like this French guy, she thinks that's like cool, I guess.
Like
So she,
dreamy.
yeah, like I know. I think I'd rather just be single and not pay someone to be my boyfriend on TV because I feel like someone's gonna find out. So
Yeah, because I don't know.
yeah,
I just don't think he's into it. But I don't
no,
know. I think Julia really got on my nerves this episode.
yeah,
Really got on my nerves this episode.
I like I said, I love Gertie. I always want to be Team Gertie. I don't feel like she's in the wrong, but it's hard because they're both have a different story about what happened on this damn cruise. But
Yeah,
I just don't picture Gertie, someone who's been through cancer, as not asking like what happened with Martina. Like the way that Julia painted it, like she came on this cruise, didn't ask about her, how she was doing, but it could be that Gertie, because she's dealing with cancer herself, she just didn't want to talk about it. I don't know. Like she wanted, it's on a cruise. They're trying to be like upbeat. I just don't picture her not caring, you know?
Yeah, they just have very, very different stories. And I feel like Julia has been running around to the group and like trying to get her perspective and her side out there. And it's like if you had such a problem with this, like go talk to Gertie about it. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to talk to everyone else about it. You don't have to like get everyone on your side, so to speak. If this pisses you off this much, then have a conversation with her. And they had
Yeah.
such opposite like sides to what happened. And I'm sorry, like if you're having a conversation and somebody blows up and one person's comment, it's like 9 times out of 10 the person that's blowing up is blowing up because they just want the conversation to end and they don't
Yeah.
want to listen to what you're saying, and they don't want everyone else to hear the truth of the matter. So to me,
Mhm.
I think the minute that Julia blew up, I know I'm skipping to the end, the minute that Julia blew up, she lost the argument, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was not able to just be calm and like explain her
You
side.
think
Like you
it's because
said,
she
she
was
just
drunk?
wanted, yeah, maybe a little bit, but
Maybe a lot of it.
I mean, throwing the drink in someone's face is never okay. I don't know why she took it to that level, and I'm surprised Gertie stayed so calm. She stayed at the event. She didn't
I'd have
leave. She
punched
didn't
her. See,
cry.
that's why I can't be on these shows. Actually, I would have punched her. Like they would have, like, you can't do that. Like, because who do you think you are? Like, and then you threw it. You didn't only get Gertie, you got Kiki too. Like, like
Yeah.
it's almost like she wanted to throw it in her face, but then like caught herself and didn't throw it. But
Yeah.
even before that, like I think Gertie had said like 2 words and she like blew up. Like she just got
Yeah.
up and it was like instantly defensive,
Yeah.
instantly upset, instantly not able to have a conversation, to where Gertie was like, how many of those
Yeah.
have you had? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why. And it's all over a freaking Captain Sandy event. Like, do you know who that is?
They showed her on the show.
Yeah. Like, I saw a picture of her.
Yeah.
She's one of the captains from Below Deck, and she's a nice lady. I enjoy watching her, but like in terms of like Bravo celebrity, she's not like the biggest one. Like I don't think I would assume they all know each other. Like Gertie said, I met her like the night before. Like I just don't think it would be an event worth like fighting over. I don't know. I didn't know they were that into Below Deck, but
It doesn't seem like it's over that specific event. It seems like it's over this trip in general. Like they have a very
Mhm.
different interpretation of, did Gertie offer to come or did you ask
Mhm.
her to come? Like, did
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, did Gertie come as a favor or did she
Mhm.
come because you thought she needed to come for her social media? Then it was like this
Yeah.
event, and it's like, but to Gertie's point, if you did invite me, why
Mhm.
would I be being left out of events? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
wouldn't want to be left out of an event that I came on this trip for you. So that's why I say it's two very different interpretations of what happened, but not
yeah.
enough to be throwing a drink. Because who the do
No.
you think you are? Like,
Yeah, I know. And I can't imagine a world in which they couldn't have just called up and got Gertie to go to this event. Like, why wouldn't she be allowed? Is it that exclusive? Like, she's on The Real Housewives of Miami and it's a Captain Sandy event. I don't see why she couldn't just figure it out. It's a weird thing to fight about, but.
yeah, it's a very weird thing to fight about. And I think Gertie did a great job at keeping her cool, because I
Uh-huh.
would have, like, Julia was just bucking up, like, just way too early on. Like, the minute that
Mhm.
Gertie opened her mouth, like, she was like, no, you're not. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, girl, I would have,
Yeah, she was being very dramatic.
Very dramatic and very aggressive,
Mm-hmm.
like very combative,
Mm-hmm.
so it was real ghetto, okay?
Yeah.
Like a real ghetto. Michael
I
C.
know,
Curry was like, have some class.
right? I know. I love how she kept being like, "You're acting like a farm animal," like
Yeah, and
knowing
it's like
that
when
Julia.
someone's real pissed and you're calm, that just pisses them off.
I know. I love that Gertie could do that and like keep composed because yeah, it definitely made her more mad. And
Yeah.
speaking of Kiki, I can't believe she has an 18-year-old child. I thought she was like 30. And I mean, I kind of knew from the show and like she's obviously not, but like 18, I did not expect that. I was
Is
shocked.
she divorced? Like, what's her story? Because I heard her saying that she like needed a husband and stuff, and I'm like, she is like stunning,
I
stunning.
know.
When
And
she went to
she,
the ice cream museum, first of all, who wears that to the ice cream museum? It was see-through.
and
Oh
then
my God, she's stunning. How does she
I
know?
know.
Like, I think she must be divorced or something.
Yeah, well, she had that man with the yacht or whatever that they were talking about, but I don't think she was dating him, or she used to be, but she still uses the yacht. I don't know. But yeah, she seems like she needs all the yachts. Like I would date her too if I had a yacht. So I'm like, that's
Yes.
the route she should take, especially in Miami. I feel like a yacht would be very beneficial there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like she hasn't mentioned a relationship this season, I don't think, right?
No, that's the
No.
only one she mentioned was like, oh, I previously dated the guy who owns the yacht company, but I'm like, I didn't
She's
know if
like a
he was.
friend of, which I don't understand why. Or is she not this season? I can never
Oh,
tell because I feel like we're seeing a lot of her, right?
I think oh yeah, you're right. She's not because she's not on the
Yeah,
poster. Like
which
she's
she
not
should
one of the
be.
main. Yeah, you're right.
I
You're
don't know
right.
how they make, I think they usually make that choice based on like if you don't want to show certain parts of your life. So maybe she does have like a boyfriend that she doesn't want on the show, and then they usually
Mm.
make you a friend if you do that. Because you have to put your kids and your boyfriend and all that on the show, otherwise they'll like demote you. But I don't know why she would be only a friend. I feel like she's the funniest one, and I
Yeah,
like
she is.
her. So.
I do like her. I think she's my favorite on the show so
Mhm.
far. What did you think of Larsa talking about Lisa and her man in front of the girls?
I am a Team Lisa, I think. I feel like at first, like we said, the original story, we were kind of like, okay, Larsa, we see your point. But now she's just gone so far with it that I'm like, I don't know, she got to get over it. I saw Larsa has a 31-year-old man right now, is some basketball player. So
Girl.
I know. I know. I mean, good for her. That's probably fun. But I'm like, I know when she was with Marcus, it was a lot of like, we're getting engaged. We're getting engaged soon. And I'm like, I just don't know that these 31-year-olds want to be engaged to a 50-year-old woman, but maybe. I mean, she is Larsa, so
And
she's
she
hot,
looks
but
great. Like
yeah.
she's
Hmm.
hot, right? Like she doesn't look 50 at
No.
all. But I just think, first of all, it's the wrong timing to do that. Like,
Hmm.
and then you're implying that he's like on something and everybody's like,
Yeah, the
oh,
eyeballs.
look at his eyes. Oh my God, look at his eyes. You know what I mean? And it's just, I just thought, like, girl, if this is how if you want to be friends with this girl again, this is not how you do it. But what did you think
No.
of, I guess, Jody's like very, I think we heard Kiki call him a gold digger, like that he's
Yeah.
like this implication that he's after her money and he's super
Hmm.
involved in all her business deals.
Well, I told you like I did listen to Lisa did a Juicy Scoop interview. And I remember seeing the preview for this season where the girls were complaining about Jodie being too involved. And I was like, oh, we haven't really seen that yet. And then on this interview, he hopped into the interview halfway through and like took over.
Mm.
And so I was like, that's not great given what the storyline is. You're not like dispelling those rumors now. And then, yeah, the way he explained it was like, he knew about Lisa and Lenny. He knew she was getting divorced. He just got out of a relationship and was like, "Oh, I'll date her now," and like DM'd her. And it was like the fact that he knew who she was and that she was on the show and that he was like, "I don't want to be on this show," but he DM'd her knowing she's on the show was all very, I don't know. It's hard because if you're in a relationship with someone, you want them to succeed, and you do. Maybe she's not good with like the business stuff, and he does want to help, but it's also like he should have his own business and be too busy to be all up in her
That's what
business.
I was gonna
So
ask. Like, does he have like what does he do professionally? Like, what
I
is
feel
he a
like
successful man?
he did describe himself as being like some kind of businessman. So I can't remember what he owned. I mean, to live in Miami, I feel like he lived on like one of these islands. He must have been doing
He
okay.
has
So
to
I
be
don't know
doing
that
okay, yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a gold digger like after Lisa financially. I would say more of like a fame digger
I
because he's
don't
all like
think so.
doesn't want to be on the show, but clearly he's a big part of it. So, and like I said, well, at BravoCon, he was right up in the front row, but I mean, he you can see that as supporting her too, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really messy of Larsa to do that. Like, it wasn't the time for it. I
No.
like what's her name? The one that was with Todd.
Oh, Alexia.
I like Alexia. I feel
Yeah.
like, I think she is a true friend to Lisa because she was like, this isn't the time to be doing that. I don't like that she did that, especially while Lisa is burying her dad. Like, that's so
Yeah.
sad, which obviously we're going to see the aftermath of this next week. But
Mm.
I'm a little surprised that Alexia is still into Todd. Like, it's
Right?
like her feelings about him changes on the daily for her to
Yeah.
think that the ball is in his court regarding the divorce and that you can't just
Yeah.
like, you know?
That was weird how she was like, "Oh, these earrings are from Todd," and then the next scene being like, "No, like we're not together, not talking," and it's just like it's hard. It's like whiplash,
Yeah. Yeah,
and I
because
think it's
every
still
day is
going on to
different.
this day.
Yeah, every day is different. Like, one day she's like, I'm done with him, he's a monster. Then it's like, I love him, there's still feelings there.
Mhm.
I guess
It
it
was sad seeing her son sad about it. Like, because at first I was like, I don't know what's happening, if this is real or not, or if it's like the financial reasons for the divorce. But seeing him sad, like I'm like, oh, it does seem like there's a lot of turmoil happening there, and for
yeah.
him to move out in front of the kids, like that's sad.
Yeah, he just is a coward and went about it like a real shitty way, I think. And I
Mhm.
think like just any normal person would be like that alone is reason to never talk to somebody again. But I
Mhm.
guess I thought it was really sweet of her to throw the wedding shower for
Yeah.
Marisol, even though, girl, that eye patch, I was like, why does she,
I was just thinking about that.
why
Wait,
does
I
she
think
have
I would
this
just
eye
rock
patch?
the sty. Like that would be less noticeable than the
I know
iPad.
you're like the whole episode, like lifting up her eye patch to like look at
Yeah.
stuff. Like, how bad could this guy have been
Would you wear an eye patch
if I was like needed to
if you
correct
had to? Yeah.
my eye? Like, if I had to, not because if I had a sty, I think if I had a sty, I'd just like move back from the
Yeah.
camera where you can't really see it.
Yeah. I don't feel like they're that noticeable, but she rocked it. It was fashionable-ish. It's a statement. It
Yeah, I
was.
guess.
It's a
Hopefully
moment.
is she gonna, so was that her wedding or are we gonna see her have an actual big wedding?
I think that was the wedding
Oh,
because she's
okay.
had a lot of big weddings. I
Yeah,
think they
I
did
know.
one in Mexico, Scotland. So I think that was just like the legal whatever. So
Yeah, she went to the court.
mhm. I think that's it. Maybe
Oh,
there's another one
maybe
coming.
I thought maybe if you're gonna have a big wedding, it should be the legal one, I guess. But
Yeah.
what do I know? I've never been married.
No. I did it just the one time. I didn't know we were doing like a whole bunch of them. So
Yeah, so
one was expensive enough, so I don't think
yeah,
I need
I'm
to
like,
do it
well,
again.
I guess when you're a real housewife, you don't have to worry about that. So
See, I always want to do like a vow renewal, but if you watch The Real Housewives, you know that the vow renewal is the kiss of death. When they do a vow renewal, they got like 2, 3 years tops and they get divorced.
oh, don't do
So
it.
no, it's a jinx.
It's a jinx. Don't do it.
Yeah,
I'm like, what
no.
else? What else have we
Yeah,
seen
I think
happen
that was
this
it.
episode? That's
I think that was it. Yeah, Lisa was obviously with her dad, and yeah, was the big drink throwing fight was like the half the episode, I think. Like the wedding or like the party was. So
yeah. That was, yeah,
yeah,
like I said, Julia really lost me there because even like
yeah,
you can't be that upset about a dang party. Like,
no,
hmm, yeah, she would have got smacked anyway. But
yeah.
that's why I'm not on reality TV.
Hey, we're still trying to get you on there, so I want to be. Imagine you are on a show. and then we could talk about it. How fun would that be?
See, I would want to host a show. I wouldn't want to be
Yeah.
on a show. Like, everybody asks me that all the time. Like, would you actually be on a show? And I'm like, not as like a cast member, but like as a host.
You wouldn't do Love is Blind? That would be so good.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
No,
do it. I
you'd
would
have to
host
move
it.
to who knows where, but I don't
Maybe
think they're
they'll
gonna
do one
do
in
it.
my city soon, but yeah. But they announced the list of the perfect match, the cast
Yep.
list, and the Ray guy was on it. So that was
Yes,
what
you
he
were.
was alluding
I don't
to.
know why I said there was no Love Island people because I knew that Justine was on. I
Yeah.
forgot like where there's so many different shows these people are from this time. So yeah, there's I think 2 other Ray, Justine, and there's someone else I didn't recognize.
There was
Oh, and Carrington. I
Carrington
remember
and
him.
Scott.
I think that might be it. Yeah.
Scott was on Love Island. I remember him coming in as a bombshell. I didn't watch his season,
Mhm.
but he came in as a bombshell.
He was on USA.
Yeah, he
Oh, okay.
came
I
in
would
as
have
a
seen him then.
bombshell on USA, but like way at the end, like way. You know when they send in
Yeah,
all
the
the cast
last
like
ditch
at the
efforts.
last
Yeah.
bombshells that come in around the heart rate challenge. So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, the perfect match is gonna drop on August
August
1st.
1st. Oh, and we're going to cover the ultimatum too if you're into that one. We are going to do that next week. So,
Yeah, oh my
yeah,
God, it dropped and
we
they
got a lot of
dropped
shows.
7 episodes, you guys. So we're gonna recap it, but we need time to watch.
Yeah.
Love Island is taking over our lives.
It's so true. It's so hard with Love Island because we're like, we don't want to wait a few days because then another one and another one and another one, and we're not caught up. But with Ultimatum, we have till Wednesday. So we're like, okay,
Yeah.
not as much pressure there. Everyone can catch up and then come and chat with us
Yes,
about
it's like
it.
if you
So,
miss one Love Island recap, by the time the next one comes on, it's like there's like what happened in that other one?
yeah.
Like, who cares? Like Love Island land moves so fast. Like you said,
So
like
fast.
Jeremiah's been gone for only 2 episodes, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's been gone a long time. Like,
Could you imagine like trying to do it once a week and like trying to talk about 5 episodes?
no,
I'd
no,
be like,
I would be
who
like,
was that?
leave it
Jeremiah? I don't
yeah,
remember
like
him.
Charlie. Who the fuck was that?
There was a Charlie on the show. I don't remember that, but yeah, it
That's
moves
why it's
so
so
fast.
interesting to like have After Sun like so far after, because they're like, it's like by the time you go on After Sun and get the tea, it's like, dang, like we've
Yeah.
all moved on. Like I'm sure Andrea doesn't even remember Jeremiah's name. Like, you know,
No.
but
Yeah, they're all in new committed relationships. So
yeah. So yeah, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So if you guys are interested in the ultimatum, we'll have that for you guys, and then obviously we'll be talking through Love Island. Let us know what you guys thought of the new episodes, and
yeah.
if you're into the Valley and the Housewives, watch along, comment.
Yes,
all
we
the things.
usually do a separate Bravo Day episode. So if you are looking for that one, it'll be on a different one than our Love Island usually. But today we combined it. So
Yeah.
it's all in one-stop shop today.
One-stop
so.
shop, and we're gonna put in timestamps so you know where to
Yeah.
where to find your,
We're working on it. We got the
Yeah.
song now. Now we'll figure out the
Yeah,
timestamps.
let us know you guys like the song. I've seen some of the comments that that they really like the song. So yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, we got it. Well, thanks for joining us, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe, follow us, all that, because we're always surprising you guys with new episodes. So we'll keep you on your toes.
At this point, it's not only Tuesdays. It's just like,
no, that was funny.
We'll see ya.
That was funny that we thought we would only do it once a week, but
yeah.
no.
Here we are, Love Island. Love Island will keep you busy, Billy.
Yes, it does. We'll see you guys soon.
Time.
Okay, bye.